As we approach the end of the season, there is, of course, a lot of drama around Manchester United, from players potentially leaving the club to Eric Cantona showing his support for the Glazer out movement, and of course, that controversial celebration from Altay Bayindir. Let's unpack it all. Welcome to the Glory Race channel, and today we're going to be talking about some of the news that's been surrounding Manchester United this week, and I think one of the hot topics right now is Marcus Rashford. Of course, Marcus Rashford left for Aston Villa in the January transfer window on loan with a buyout clause of £40 million. Now, Marcus Rashford, since he left Manchester United in January, has had somewhat of a good spell at Aston Villa. I mean, he has got 4 goals and 6 assists in 17 appearances. Marcus Rashford, towards January, or let me just say at the beginning of the season, right? He hasn't been himself. He hasn't looked happy. He hasn't been performing on the pitch. Fans have completely lost their trust with Marcus Rashford. And personally, I lost that trust with him a long time ago, right? I mean, there was a time when Marcus Rashford had an offer from PSG and we turned it down. That time was the perfect opportunity for us to offload Marcus Rashford because he's on high wages and he's not living up to them, right? So now, come to the close of the season, there is an option for Villa to get him for £40 million. Now, from what I've heard and what I've read, it doesn't seem like Emery Unai, it doesn't seem like he has so much of an interest to get Marcus Rashford off United's books. Obviously, Marcus Rashford comes with a heavy wage, and I don't think Unai or Aston Villa are prepared to take on that heavy salary wage. It's too much. It's too much for a player that is just not performing consistently at the high level, and that's going to be a huge risk for Aston Villa. So, do I see this move happening? I don't know, right? There hasn't really been any formal bids from other clubs that are interested in Marcus Rashford. We have seen some stories that Barcelona look like they may show some interest in buying the player. But of course, we're going to wait and see. Now, on to Eric Cantona. Now, we all know that the Glazers have been in control of this club for 20 years. And in those 20 years, this club has just dilapidated. All right. The football hasn't got any better. The infrastructure hasn't got any better. It has just gone from a very good, prominent club to absolute rubble, right? And one of our legends, Eric Cantona, was seen in a photo sporting the old United colours of green and yellow in his support for the Glazer out movement. Now, if Eric Cantona, a huge Manchester United legend, is getting behind this movement, I mean, who are we as fans not to follow suit, right? We want the best for this club. We know that the Glazer family is toxic, right? With the introduction of the Ineos group, they've tried to put things here and there, but we can clearly see for ourselves that even with the promises that we were told, even in the hopes of Glazers, or not Glazers, but the Ineos group having control of the footballing side of things, we would see better things starting to happen. But that didn't happen, right? Because at the end of the day, it seems like the Glazers still have the final decision of things that happen at the club. So I really respect Eric Cantona for coming out and showing his support for the Glazer out movement. And I really hope the likes of Gary Neville, who likes to talk shit about this club all the damn time, comes out and joins this movement of Glazers out. We need to return our club back to its glory days, and it's not going to happen with the Glazers still in charge. They need to go, right? They need to go. Right, next, Altay Bayindir. Altay Bayindir was photographed seeming like he was celebrating a goal that we conceded. Now, I can see how this is taken out of context just based on the nature of the picture. His hand gestures are not of those of like disappointment. That's, it looks like more of a celebratory, gesture with his fist pumped up like this. But you can clearly see that gesture was out of frustration of the goal being let in the back net. So we United fans, I mean, people are saying United fans are pissed off that he was celebrating. I don't know who these United fans are. I don't know if it's just the media spiel, but clearly Altay Bayindir was not celebrating that goal. We all need to take a chill pill and not get or buy into this media bias. Altay Bayindir was not celebrating that goal. It doesn't make sense, guys. Come on. We are way, way, way better than that. And we are past all of this media nonsense that keeps coming out every single week. And last but not least, Manchester United award Bruno Fernandes Player of the Season. Right? Bruno Fernandes has been a steady rock for us this season. Not only this season, but since he joined Manchester United, Bruno Fernandes, our captain, has been the bedrock, the foundation of this team. This team can't work without Bruno Fernandes. And as far as I'm concerned, Bruno Fernandes, since the day he walked into Manchester United, was always going to be United's player of the season. His numbers are consistent. He is just he's so invaluable. Like, we can't do anything without Bruno Fernandes. And Ben made an amazing video talking about the Saudi raid, the Saudi league trying to snatch up Bruno Fernandes from us and putting on huge salaries and all this and all of that. You can clearly see how valuable Bruno Fernandes is. But we all know he's loyal to Manchester United and he is not going anywhere. So congratulations, Bruno Fernandes, for winning Player of the Season for Manchester United. And also a shout out to Amad Diallo for winning Goal of the Season. Amad Diallo becoming a staple name at Manchester United, winning Goal of the Season. He has been stellar for us this whole season. He was stellar for us towards the tail end of last season. And we just hope for better things to come in the future because he is our future. And we'll definitely get more into players who we should keep going into next season and players that we need to get rid of. And Amad Diallo is clearly in that conversation of players that need to stay at this club. And last shout out goes to Harry Mas for winning Young Player of the Season at Manchester United. Harry Mas recently being featured in the United first team, left back. I don't want to go out there and say he's doing a stellar job. He's only played a couple of matches for us, so let's not get carried away. But he has been really influential. And him making that step up into the first team really shows a lot that he can bring to the table. Now, obviously, we have the likes of Luke Shaw, who's, our United left back, but he's always injured. You know what I mean? We can't rely on him. We can't count on him. He needs to be sold. We need to look for an adequate replacement. Now, I'm not saying Harry must because he won Young Player of the Season. He's naturally going to take over that left back position because we obviously still have Patrick Dogu, who's also competing for that position, and occasion Diego Dalot. But he is one young player to watch out for the future. So yeah, that's all, guys. Just wanted to give you guys a quick recap on what's been happening at Manchester United this week, what the media's been talking about, what's going on. And if you want to catch more news and more information, be sure to check us out on Spotify. Yeah, on Spotify. There's now video on Spotify. So we got other content that's going on over there. If you want to see something, hear something different, head on over to Spotify where we get in depth with more of these topics. But with that being said, I'm out. Peace.